to another uneducated opinion. Alright, I'm your host, Jordan. Alright, so today I do have some movie news, and the movie that I will be talking about is 28 Years Later. You would think it would be the sequel to 28 Weeks Later, but it seems like they're going to place it after 28 Days Later. Not immediately, of course, but it'll take place after. It looks like Sony has won the rights to distribute the movie after a bidding war. I'm not exactly sure who was all involved in that bidding war, but I could also look into that because that'd be interesting to see the other potential landing spots. So the movie will be directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland, who both worked on the original film. The movie will also have a sequel, which will be written by Garland but directed by someone else. So which is nonetheless intriguing because this franchise has laid dormant for quite some time now, and it seems like they might be going full steam ahead with this franchise, which is a bonus for all us horror fans. The star of the original film, Cillian Murphy, will be an executive producer for the project also, and Sony has given the movie a budget of $60 million. And it's expected to start production later this year. So overall, I mean, this sounds very promising. You got the original minds coming back together to work on it. Cillian Murphy having a bigger role in the project. And the budget is pretty substantial. I mean, from the first two, they really relied on practical effects. There wasn't really any need for CGI. So I think with $60 million, let's go ahead and see what the budget for the other ones was. Alright, so it looks like 28 Days Later actually had a budget of $8 million, which was incredibly impressive because that film is fantastic. It basically set the standard for the new zombie genre. And then it looks like 28 Weeks Later had a budget of $15 million. So the jump to $60 million is quite substantial. One of my hopes is that just because they have such a high budget compared to the previous two, that they don't try to outdo themselves. The main point of 28 Weeks Later and 28 Days Later was the simplicity and just how meaningful the movies were without them being bombastic or having to rely on too high of a budget. I mean, I think we could all agree 28 Days Later is... I'd go as far as to say one of the greatest zombie movies of all time, if not probably the best zombie movie of all time. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like they have a story set for the film just yet, or they haven't revealed anything. But they do see that the door is open for Cillian Murphy to return, so he could potentially make an appearance. I would hope for him to be the protagonist. But if they choose to go with someone else, hopefully they can pay a decent homage to him, or maybe even just have him stay behind the scenes. He's a genius either way. Alright, so it looks like the main takeaway is that Sony is the new home for 28 Years Later. They have an incredibly high budget compared to the previous two at $60 million. Got Cillian Murphy in the executive producer spot, Danny Boyle directing, while Alex Garland writes. And then one of the more intriguing parts that also has me pretty excited is that they're actually going to do a sequel to it. So they don't know who the director is going to be just yet. Maybe they can get someone like Fede Alvarez. I think that would be a perfect fit, honestly. But that's the only update I have so far today for 28 Years Later. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Let me know below what I could do better or anything like that. And if not, you guys have a great day. And remember, stay spooky.